let's talk about the crypto bloodbath and that burn for that crash that we saw on 10-10-10, which was the 10-10-25. Okay, now it just so happens that wife had a baby the day before, and on 10-10 I had to empty out a bloodbath. So we can do this a couple different ways. You can do it with a bucket, one by one, all right? Or you can run to the old Walmart and get a pump and either keep it or take it back. Or you can get a long enough hose or whatever, if it's kind of that 2-story mode or 3-story mode or wherever. It's a lot easier to create that siphon. All right, now sometimes you can't create the siphon, so therefore you do have to go and get the water pump, and that comes with those hose. All right, and those hose are part of those hostages laying out before you. And the Israel, as you're coming piece to piece, summit to summit, in a way, as Trump met Putin on the 112th day of Melania being 55 on the 8/15, and then on today for that peace deal and that summit for the host ages. Those Xmas, Christmas time frames. 24, the 25, the Eve, the Satan, the Adam, those types of things. The bloodbath, part of that birth, and more of that natural way, and there's that unnatural way for the UN and the United Nations of the United States and all these things, as your Who to Who and Who's Who program comes out from your high school as you're in those sessions of the Most High. And Israel was talking about giving Trump the highest honor today after this peace deal. So the midst of the week is the 23, the 55, the 11. We're kind of in that 11:55 time frame as we've been tracking this 55 on Melania, and then today is also tracked back to that 111, 112. Today is the 112/113 day of the Midnight Hammer, overlapping with a 10-13, which is a crowning for that 311 on the backside that we saw back in the 2021 time frame. It's either 2020 or 2021, but either way, it doesn't matter. So this is all going into a nice little sweet spot, as everybody can see. You'd have to be given over to the delusion, basically, which tells you that most of the people are, and they are being shook and woken up, and it's not going to happen exactly the way the church teaches, but these prophecies and such are going to happen in such a way where the church is left behind, because they're being taught that it's this, that, and the other, and they're not realizing it's this over here. And but either way, that's a whole nother story. The Trump also mentioned that he may not be going to heaven, and opening hell up and all those types of things past few days and such, but this is where he's going down to that lower pit and such. And then at the same time, we see Tesla's or Elon talking about the buy and sell market as far as his cell phone, and that would be him going into the lower pits in a way. So as the spirals of time are interwoven up and down, this is where the people are taken up to one summit, and then they're going to be taken down and lifted up in the tornado, and whatever else. But these types of things, the stable coins, the Dow, this bridge system, the seed to sell, those types of things. That's all going on as far as the world stage, and changing it and bringing all the corruption into the incorruption. But all these things are where the stable coins, everything has been kind of materialized and spiritualized as far as this earth and the carnal going into the spirit. And now, since that's kind of been done, everybody's kind of blinded and deafened in ways. And so when these things all kind of go stable, and the Bitcoin is wrapped into your DAO, and all that's at a sweet pinnacle spot, and then it's going to be wrapped up into, or distributed into the stable coins, and the stable coins are all either wrapped up in your countries or products in the world, and all those types of things, where you need like this coin to buy Nike, or this coin to buy wood, or those types of things. But or everything is going to be, it's where this whole system is going into where we're at. That's where it's like MTV, the 40 years to the 42, which is a flip on the 24 to the 48. So that's a time frame of a day one connecting to a day two, and those types of things. As you have your image being pushed out by the beast on this side, then the beast on this side from Mother Earth, and the Israel versus the Israel versus the Israel you watch, the Hollywood stuff, all those things are at a holy trinity right now, as the new age is coming, and all these lights are being interfaced and overlaid and whatever else. So that's where this image has given birth to this day one, connecting to the day two, and then overlaid with the day 7 and the day 1, and that's where all those little overlays of time, where there is no end time, only new beginnings. And Revelation is a book, the whole Bible is a book about you and the things around you in the world, and the electrical currents within you. So the Johannesburg, the John, the Wild Times, the Joe, the Ho, the Hostages, the Midweek, the Peace Still, all those things or whatever. These are all coming into a little focal point now, where we can understand this dark sun, and the John, the sign of the coming, the locust, bringing the wild honey, which is that flowing gold, and that's tied to your manna, the money. And your flowing gold will be tied to your Bitcoins, and that tree of life that's all gathered up into that one river, and then it's distributed out of Eden within the 4 rivers. But that's kind of where we're seeing, as far as spiritually speaking, on the Cassius King going into new realm, and that the pawn, the chessboard, is all coming to a world near you, where Cassius King's going down, and this crypto king and this new sun, all those things are being given birth as the King Spirit, the Jesse Sun, the Tron. All those things are given birth on this spectrum. So so Trump in the pit, Elon doing the sell, the buy and sell, do a sell to a sell, where he might have that SC time frame or that XAM time frame, where he gets in that detention center, but that would be where he's that person from the South African, the Johannesburg, and that would be another thing for an auto pin mechanism. Maybe he lied or whatever on his papers or whatever. We can also see something happen with maybe Harry, Prince Harry, coming into play in the future on something, and Trump's already said he's going to be targeting him in the future. So that royal kind of flush, and the throne, and the red hair, and Jacob and Esau, and then Jacob and Esau ties here also the chainsaw, and that Jacob, the cob, the corn, the maize, all that shit's going now with your Olas, your desolation and whatever else, and the Sheenan bomb is connected to the Shi. So that's part of all the abominations and stuff we've been tracking, and the woman clothed in the sun, and then other women clothed in the sun we've been tracking. But either way, folks, this is all for you to wake up and realize it, because your false prophets are your people in the religions that's basically given over to the 666 or satanic shit or devil's music or devil's Levinas and whatever else that's been given on that motion picture that's given life, your Hollywood. And they're just going, they're blind and deaf, just going straight into the grasp and grips and whatever else of that old magazine for that magnetic pull, and that magnetic pull, that MAGA and the Netanyahu and that TikTok and all that shit is just coming as that pale horse rider is going upon the earth right now. Okay, so either way, that Halloween and that razor blade COVID and that ray of light. Okay, so that midnight ham, the pigs, the police, the pole, the Santa, living up there in the North Pole, that army from the north. Either way, folks, I pledge allegiance to the flags, The PHAG is a stick made to be burned. All right, so that fire's getting stoked as the rainbows are going away on the crosswalk. So that means that the closet is being closed up. So as the closet's closed up, people keep guns and whatever else in the closet. All this shit came out of the closet in a way, and now it's got to be put back in and reorganized and whatever else. Okay, so what came out of it may not be going back into it. All right, because we are in a whole new house. We're in that chapter so-called bankruptcy 11, the 47, and we're in the 55 now, and the 56 is coming. And the 56 is tied to Millennia 55, or being 55 this year, 56 next year on that 426 Cobra jets, and we are in that week 105 of that war that takes us to that Kaiser Permanente, and that's where we've seen that Al Sharpton getting there, and that Cobra Kai, as far as that Abraham and that shit going on in the golf course with an 18 and up. And that's that Ukraine kick for the Danielson, for the Daniel Vigia, and the ice block chop, and what for the baby. The dingo ate your baby. At the ASRock. The ASRock is Barack Obama and the AS group for the Russian collusion to save America from the takeover of the Federal Reserve, that the 7 secret families that took over this fucking nation in 1910 to 1913, and they opened up your Hollywood in 1910, 1911 to program you. It's so simple that few shall find it. What? What did he say? You need a cracker for your honky session going on right now for the recess monkeys? As the Planet of the Apes overtakes you. Ambulance. We'll end it here. I gotta go top some logs.